Wait! Stop scrolling! What if I told you there is a magical place where millions of new fans are just waiting to discover you? Where a passionate and supportive community are immersed in a fantasy world that matches your own art and 3D creations.
A massive virtual and real-world convention made just for you that you can help us build from home.
Follow us for more info or click the link in the description.
Step into a world where reality and the virtual collide. Introducing Virtual Market 2023 Summer Connect. Experience the largest market virtual reality has to offer.
Discover a world where you can buy and sell 3D items, avatars, and even real-world products. From mouth-watering treats to the latest fashion and powerful gaming gear. Virtual Market, a festival that breaks records. Immerse yourself in the foremost metaverse economy, where the possibilities are limitless.
For creators, it's a platform to showcase your talent, connect with fans, and thrive in the virtual world. Join millions of visitors in exploring their favorite works and meeting with creators they admire. For businesses, Virtual Market is an opportunity to push the boundaries of the internet's next generation.
Experience the seamless integration of the virtual and the real. Mark your calendars, Virtual Market 2023 Summer Connect, July 15th to July 30th, 2023.
あなたも世界最大のバーチャルフェスティバル、バーチャルマーケットへ行ってみませんか？ VketChan と学ぶ VKet の歩き方。この動画シリーズでは、今までバーチャルマーケットに行ったことがない方、生き方がよくわからない方のために参加の手順をわかりやすくお伝えしていきたいと思います。まずはバーチャルマーケットについてご説明しましょう。バーチャルマーケットは 3D アバターや 3D アイテムなどを自由に試着、鑑賞、購入できるバーチャル空間最大のマーケットフェスティバルです。その他にも洋服、食品、PC などそういったものの販売が行われています。バーチャルマーケットは大きく分けて2種類の会場があります。一つは VR 機器や PC から参加する VR チャット会場。もう一つはスマホなどのウェブブラウザーから参加できる VketCloud クラウド会場です。VR チャット会場は VR 機器を使って遠くにいる友達や他の来場者と同じ空間を共有できたり、会場に用意されたさまざまな仕掛けを体験したりすることができます。VketCloud クラウド会場はスマホなどを使ってウェブブラウザーから簡単にアクセス可能。まだ VR を知らないお友達とも通話をしながら一緒にバーチャルマーケットを楽しむことができます。続いての動画では実際に VR チャット会場へどうやったら行くことができるのかを初めての方にも分かりやすく解説していきます。ぜひご覧ください。
Wait! Stop scrolling! What if I told you there is a magical place where millions of new fans are just waiting to discover you? Where a passionate and supportive community are immersed in a fantasy world that matches your own art and 3D creations.
A massive virtual and real-world convention made just for you that you can help us build from home.
Follow us for more info or click the link in the description.
Step into a world where reality and the virtual collide. Introducing Virtual Market 2023 Summer Connect. Experience the largest market virtual reality has to offer.
Discover a world where you can buy and sell 3D items, avatars, and even real-world products. From mouth-watering treats to the latest fashion and powerful gaming gear. Virtual Market, a festival that breaks records. Immerse yourself in the foremost metaverse economy, where the possibilities are limitless.
For creators, it's a platform to showcase your talent, connect with fans, and thrive in the virtual world. Join millions of visitors in exploring their favorite works and meeting with creators they admire. For businesses, Virtual Market is an opportunity to push the boundaries of the internet's next generation.
Experience the seamless integration of the virtual and the real. Mark your calendars. Virtual Market 2023 Summer Connect, July 15th to July 30th, 2023.
あなたも世界最大のバーチャルフェスティバル、バーチャルマーケットへ行ってみませんか？ VketChan と学ぶ Vket の歩き方。この動画シリーズでは、今までバーチャルマーケットに行ったことがない方、行き方がよくわからない方のために参加の手順をわかりやすくお伝えしていきたいと思います。まずはバーチャルマーケットについてご説明しましょう。バーチャルマーケットは 3D アバターや 3D アイテムなどを自由に試着、鑑賞、購入できるバーチャル空間最大のマーケットフェスティバルです。その他にも洋服、食品、PC などそういったものの販売が行われています。バーチャルマーケットは大きく分けて2種類の会場があります。一つは VR 機器や PC から参加する VRChat 会場。もう一つはスマホなどのウェブブラウザーから参加できる VketCloud クラウド会場です。VRChat 会場は VR 機器を使って遠くにいる友達や他の来場者と同じ空間を共有できたり、会場に用意されたさまざまな仕掛けを体験したりすることができます。VketCloud クラウド会場はスマホなどを使ってウェブブラウザーから簡単にアクセス可能。まだ VR を知らないお友達とも通話をしながら一緒にバーチャルマーケットを楽しむことができます。続いての動画では実際に VRChat 会場へどうやったら行くことができるのかを初めての方にも分かりやすく解説していきます。ぜひご覧ください。
Wait! Stop scrolling! What if I told you there is a magical place where millions of new fans are just waiting to discover you? Where a passionate and supportive community are immersed in a fantasy world that matches your own art and 3D creations.
A massive virtual and real-world convention made just for you that you can help us build from home.
Follow us for more info or click the link in the description. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'll be starting just a second here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Oh, man. Look at that. All right. Bam. 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 How's it going, everyone? Welcome. We're on a VKet live stream. Right now it's happening VKet Summer 2023. We're currently at the Cocoon Art Aquarium Echo. There's two versions. We're actually be doing a little interview with Slyfest today, but we're starting a little early just to get it warmed up, you know, get the blood flowing and everything. We're gonna walk around a little bit, we're gonna have some fun, and we're just gonna, you know, just talk to people and everything like that. So while we wait, let's go look around. Oh, just a reminder, as for some who may be joining, Summer VKet is happening since the 15th of this month and ends on the 30th, so you still have time to check everything out. Lots of time, actually. What is today? 22nd. Okay, so you got about, what, 8 days to check out everything? About a week and a day plus. So plenty of time. If you take your time per world, I would say it takes you like roughly an hour if you just take your time. There's a good amount of worlds to go through. They're all really cool, so you could probably maybe in 2 days go through all of them if you take your time. If you speedrun it, probably in 1 day. But regardless, you should totally take it out. I highly recommend it. It'll be a lot of fun. We're going to be having Unomi and Sly join us in a bit here. I'm not sure when they'll hop in, but they should be here within the next 30 minutes or so. You know, the cool thing about like checking out these worlds and everything is the fact that like you get achievements for exploring. I'm not sure if this will pop up. It doesn't see that. Okay, but there's a menu. There's an in menu for VKet, and you can like have achievements to unlock as you explore these different worlds and everything like that too. You know, so it kind of like shows like all the cool stuff you've been doing, all the cool things you've been seeing. All these sweet booths. Ugh. Just to have a fraction of this town would be nice. You know what I mean? I like this one. Here, come here. Where are you? Come here. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Those little fishies. And this is something you can get too. This is something you just like add to your world and everything, you know? I love it. I love aquariums. They're so relaxing. Oh, I think Unomi's here. Let's go see. Hang on. Put you over here. Where's my thing? Okay, let's get them in here. Let's make sure we just have this smooth, all level. There we go, perfect. All right. See, now you're all good to go. All right, follow me. Let's get them in here. Okay. Make sure we're all nice and cozy with our settings. I think we are. Oh, all right. This is the beginning area. This is where you start out.
エコースキャナーによってリアルタイムに観測、研究、展示している新しいタイプの水族館です。皆様にはこれから潜水艇で水深100メートル
Need a
に
thumbnail.
コロニーへと向かっていただく
Oh wait, I gotta do the. Ooh. There we go. Didn't have like a white outline around me. The Mr. Beast theme.
幻想コロニー
I wonder if I should start out in the intro world first, and maybe that would have been more interesting, just to kind of see like all the people who made these worlds possible. Oh, there's Sly. Okay.
研究、展示している新しいタイプの水族館です。皆
I
様
think we're
に
getting
は
ready still.
これから潜水艇
We'll walk over here.
水深100メートルに位置するコロニーへと向かっていただくことになります。
It kind of makes me think of like Bioshock, when you like go underwater and find the like city and everything.
幻想コロニー国運水族美術館へようこそ。ここは世界中に生息する海洋生物をエコースキャナーによってリアルタイムに観
There you
測、
are.
研究、展示している新しいタイプの水族館です。
There.
皆様にはこれから
We got Sly here. Ooh, I love your outfit too.
コロニーへと向かっていただくことになります。
Hello.
それでは
Can you hear me
Welcome,
okay?
welcome. Yep, hear you just fine.
どうぞお楽しみください。
Awesome. Thank you.
幻想コロニー
Cool.
国
I
運
love
水
the hat.
族美術館へようこそ。
Thank you. Yeah, this is what I normally wear. Normally on VRChat, I always have like a captain hat on.
That's so good. Did you make this yourself?
I mean, primarily most of it was like things that I found on Booth and everything. And then a buddy of mine, Swa, actually helped sort of join it all together. And yeah, he did all of like the kind of like most of the mesh work and stuff like that. But most of like what I actually chose was mostly Booth and Gumroad assets. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, let's do like a fashion shot for you. We're gonna do like the whole like analyze. Check out them shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Freshly fit, pressed,
Oh,
steam,
yeah.
clean.
Oh.
Look at these pants too. You know he's relaxed in those pants, ready to walk anywhere. Not too tight around the butt. Comfortable hoodie.
I know what you're doing.
Oh, look at the symbol in the back.
Yeah,
Look
I
at
know
that
the
symbol
reference.
representing.
Let's go.
And of course, we got the captain's hat. Because as a captain, there comes leadership. Love it. There should be like, you know, like how they have like Pimp My Ride. Remember that show back in the day? Do they still have that show in America?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I feel like they don't actually have new episodes, but they're still like streaming that stuff out on like I guess like whatever channels they're still trying
There
to
should be like
promote
a
it
Pin
and
My
stuff like
Avatar,
that. But
and just like you get someone's like avatar, and then like you get like a professional like avatar maker, and just like totally go nuts with it. You know what I mean? High quality, AAA standard like
Oh,
exhibit
yeah.
style, and it's just like 10 out of 10. We just get like the live reaction, just like showing off a car, you know?
I'm sure those already exist in VRChat still.
Do they?
I mean, definitely with it. I'm sure there are, yeah. But like not enough to it being like super, I guess, well known in the VRChat scene.
Oh, I see.
But
Nothing
I'm sure
mainstream yet.
there's definitely people doing fashion shows in VRChat, but we gotta find it out. Gotta
Yeah,
know.
yeah, true.
Someone in chat. Go find this
Sometimes-
fashion show.
Sometimes like cool things are like a little too niche, you know what I mean? Like it needs to get hit mainstream, but it just hasn't found the right audience yet.
Yeah, I'd say so as well, for sure.
Alright, we're waiting on one more member.
I believe Yunomi's on, so I can find him and then invite them. Sec. Send an invite. So we're not gonna implode in this thing, right?
No. Well, thankfully, you know, this is top of the line, state of the art equipment. This has been preceded by Hickey themselves from VKet, so I think we'll be just fine. Plus, it's not that deep at all.
Yeah.
We're only going around 100 feet
Oh, sick.
underwater.
Only 100 feet.
Yeah, according to the announcer.
That is true. I need to make sure my world sounds are up a little bit more.
Is this your first time here, or have you explored any of the VKet worlds so far?
I haven't explored all of them, but I haven't really got to go in depth with all of the booths and stuff like that here either.
No
So,
pun intended.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Go in depth.
Nah, I love this stuff. It's so gorgeous. I was mentioning to like the audience and everything like that too, is that in the main hub world that we have for VKet, we have a wall of all the people who are involved for making like all this possible. And there's like more than 200
Yeah.
plus names like on this wall. It's crazy to know how many people are involved with making this possible.
Yeah, it's an insane production for sure. And I mean, as I believe 700 or so booths, so it's an insane amount of people that
Yeah. I mean, if you include
everyone
like
in VK
people
is
who made the
collaborating
worlds
with.
and the booths and the like streaming communities and everything, it's just like it goes up beyond the thousands at that point.
Yeah, it's definitely over the thousands of, I guess, booths and amount of collaborators and things like that, for sure. I think you know me is crashing, so, I mean, we'll see what happens.
She
Oh.
wanted to join, so I sent her an okay.
Okay. How did my tracking work?
Is this big?
Yes. Yeah, I'm also setting up my camera as well.
Oh, okay.
We'll probably be going live at 55,
Okay,
but for
yeah,
the
no problem.
actual stream, we'll be on time for that.
Yeah, just a reminder to
Hello,
everyone out there, we're
viewers.
still warming up. This is the warm-up session. We're not at the main meat and potatoes of the live broadcast yet. Also, friendly reminder, this will be recorded
Yeah.
and saved to our YouTube channel. We're planning on adding Japanese translation as well, so you can also have your Japanese buddies know what we're talking about.
Yup, yup. Right. I don't know if she's still lagging. Maybe. Okay. Well, I mean, once she joins, or if she's able to join, we can just pick up from wherever.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you want to go ahead, we can.
Let's do
we
it.
can.
Yeah, this thing is not operated by a PlayStation 2 controller, but you know, it's pretty advanced.
I believe it was a Logitech controller.
Oh, was it? There we go.
Wow. Very quick trip.
Yeah, that's what you get. I mean, we're top of the line. I mean, it's kind of like BioShock. You ever played that game before?
Yeah. I don't know if I would want to play that in VR though. I think I'd be too scared.
That would be pretty
Spooked.
spoopy. Yeah.
Yeah. Shellies are nice. They're so aesthetically pleasing to see.
They are. I love it when like some places like have like UV lights on them, so they glow like really bright.
Yeah. That looks like, I think
These
those
fishies.
are those are blobfish, but before they decompress and become pink, scary-looking things.
Is that what happens to them? Is that why they're ugly? Is because like the air pressure or the pressure of the water's different, so they just kind of get super ugly?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what happens. So like blobfish normally actually look pretty normal looking like this, but then like once they decompress, like they lose like their primary color and become pink blobs.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. It's also kind of funny too. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? They're obviously in their natural habitat where they're healthy and happy and like normal looking, and then we pull them up to the surface and they're just like, oh.
I know. It's really sad when they find them in that state too, because they just look like they've I don't know, they're just done with life actually. No, yeah,
right.
dead by that point, but yeah. Yunomi joined, so she'll be here with us pretty soon. These are
okay, cool.
Little isopods, I think, and then these little things floating around, I think, are what are they called? I would assume maybe some sort of sea slugs, but like deep sea slugs, because they have like some really interesting coloration on the sides, which almost indicate like it's like some sort of glowy stuff. Yeah, I'm well, I didn't actually study marine biology, but it's something that I actually also care about as well.
Yeah, for sure. It is important.
Yeah. The sea is one of the weirdest and most beautiful places, in my opinion. Oh, Yunomi left again. No. So yeah, let's see. Let's continue. So, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really sure what this is, but I think it's some sort of deep sea, another deep sea looking plant thing.
There's one thing that fascinated me. This is like marine biology related. Was like narwhals. Like they're like one of the only sea creatures that we just can't contain in an aquarium in general. Like they just can't be kept in, because apparently like if you do, they'll like die apparently. So that's like one of the only animals that we just can't put into like captivated like environment, which I found interesting. So it's like, wow, they really are the majestic unicorn of the ocean.
Well, not only that, but I feel like if you try to fit a narwhal with like this large I don't know how long it is like maybe like 5 to 6 foot horn, I don't know if you want them charging at the glass.
Right.
Also sharks too, like certain species obviously are in aquariums, like reef sharks and stuff like that, but they've never put an actual great white in one because they're way too large, and yeah, typically it really would be super difficult to get them to survive in that kind of environment, just because there's no aquariums that can house something that large, even though the like other aquariums can house like whale sharks and stuff like that. I think like with great whites, I feel like all of your fish would probably disappear eventually as well. At the same time, I don't know. Yeah. Let's see what else is here. Got our friend here.
What we got here?
This is our friend. I think it's like a man. It's definitely not like a normal octopus, or I don't know if that might be actually a squid, or like I forgot. But I know that there's a species like this that look like it has ears and stuff. Pretty cool. Let's go.
There we go.
Here we have some very
I think these are I want to say these are Japanese. Japanese.
Yeah, I think
giant Japanese crabfish,
snow
or
crab.
I forgot their.
Or maybe they might be.
I forget the
The
actual
giant,
term. Yeah, the giant.
the Japanese crab of the giant variety.
Yeah, yeah. The giant variety.
Yes, I believe that's it. But their legs
Apparently,
are
they're quite vast up in Hokkaido area, but like they're not as tasty as other crabs, so they're not hunted as much as others. Which is a bummer because
Hokkaido is Hokkaido is where? South
north.
or north?
It's a far north island of Japan.
Ah,
Hmm.
cool. The more you know.
There you go.
こちらは寒冷地帯エリアです。氷が見せる壮大な世界をお楽しみください。
I'm not so much so
こちらは
sure
寒冷地帯エリアです。
like how much you want to look at booths, but I know that right now it's 56, so we'll have to speed through all these animals probably. So, these are really cool.
These are the garden eels, right?
Yeah, they are. I forgot what they were called, but yeah, definitely the garden eels. And these hypnotized cat things that I'm not really actually sure what they're called, but they look pretty cool.
Like cat snails or something.
They almost look like the cat's tails, like maybe that's just a lure, These cats are actually hiding their tails up to lure some unsuspecting
Oh, there you go.
predator and
Yeah,
just
new lore.
chomp, yeah.
And here we have clownfish and doryfish, because I don't know the name of them.
Yeah, butterfly fish, clownfish, a fish that belongs in freshwater. That's butterfly fish. What else are they called? And these ones, I think they're some form of parrotfish as well, maybe. But I feel like they might be related to the butterflies as well. But usually in this kind of all of these reef fish, normally in tropical waters and definitely in the actual ocean, and definitely not found in lakes or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that might be a cichlid. I'm not sure. Look at this. Look at all these jellies.
I got these jelly
Down
boys
here.
down here.
I wanna jump on them and bounce really hard. Like Finding Nemo.
Oh yeah, they're bouncing on them when they were going past the that cavern or whatever it was.
Yeah. And then this is a sort of a mangrove kind of area and stuff like that. Mangroves are found in really swampy-ish kind of areas with
What's the study of
brackish
plants? What's it called
water.
again?
The study of plants, plantology. No, but just biology, I guess. I don't know.
Botanic. I don't know. Something. I should know this.
Something.
Yeah.
All right,
The
let's go
study.
through here. Let's go through
Yeah.
here.
Just
Yeah,
keep your
this
mind
is-
thinking. We'll figure it out later.
I wish I had a full body right now, but this is my friend right here. He's going on the pot later, but
Oh no.
for now you can say hello. No, I'm kidding. I actually surprisingly don't eat crab that often,
You don't like the taste?
but when I do, no. Well, I guess blue crab, no, not as much. But when it comes to like anything like king crab or like snow crabs like that.
Mhm.
Like it's pretty good with some, put some butter on it. Like
Yeah. Absolutely. I love how the water like muffles the hearing too when you go in there. Like all the audio gets muffled.
oh yeah. That's a really cool effect. This prehistoric thing. That looks terrifying. Alright. Yo, check stream. What's up, guys? Hey, hopefully y'all can hear me. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, we just started. I'm here with Chiado Sensei. I don't know if you can see him. Where is he? Where are you? Why aren't you in the stream? Oh, there you are.
There I
You're
am.
just blending in with the background.
I'm
What's up?
like the fish. I imagine with my my surroundings and naturally blend in. That and we're in a dark spot.
Yeah. Let me raise the volume here a little bit. Let me know if he sounds okay as well. Cool. But yeah, we're in Cocoon. What is this? The full name again? Cocoon Art Aquarium on the VKet page. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, it's here on.
This is
VKet.
from the checking
yeah,
out. This is Echo version. This is Cocoon Echo.
Oh yeah, this is Cocoon Echo. There's a
There we
bunch
go.
of
Give me
really
more
good-
lighting. Ooh.
I don't know how to stream, guys. Oh, yeah, I really don't know how to stream. Hold on. There we go. Alright, so this is Shadow.
Hey everyone.
And then, yeah. So many booths, obviously, all over VCAT and everything, but today we're gonna actually go to our booth, so.
Yes, sir. Alright, follow me, students. Sorry, I don't mean to look angry. Wait, what was the comment I saw in the chat? Hang on.
Oh no!
Crumpus man.
what's happening?
Oh. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, I was just talking to the chat.
Oh, it's talking to chat. Talking to
Right behind
chat.
you.
Like me. Alright, so look at this. This is actually the entrance to our booth. So if you go far enough next to the cozy little penguins here, you'll be able to find our booth. And so, yeah, we'll go right in. Look at that.
Ooh. This is nice.
Yep. Yeah, it's representing pretty much the underwater world of Azuria. This is one of the Azurians right here, and here's another Azurian. But they're basically the inhabitants of the world that we created here. But I digress. Let me set up my camera for the interview properly. So.
Yeah, let me set up mine too. Me too. I'm doing it too.
All right, I think the volume should be pretty good. Check your mic again if you can say a couple things.
1 2 check. 1 2. Checking 1 2. Microphone check.
All right.
1 2.
Yeah, I think that's good. Let me lower the world volume just a slight tad. Alright, cool. So yeah, I mean, whenever you're ready, I'm down to answer some questions.
Let me get close to you, so it doesn't look like I'm being awkward and far away and distant.
Oh, I was seeing if we could maybe if you can stand right here so that we can frame it
Right there?
pretty nicely. So right, yeah, I think that actually works.
Right here is fine.
Yep. So yeah.
Let me zoom a little bit here.
Ooh.
Turn this way.
And chat, let me know if it's too quiet or too loud. Let me know.
Let me so all right, just so everyone's aware, we're here with Sly himself talking about Sly Fest and everything. I'm gonna have some questions prepared. We're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of things I don't know personally, and I think there's a lot of things that I think the community wants to know in general. That what's all going on with you, what's going on with like sort of the things that you have prepared and going on for the future, and what you've done in the past as well. So let me grab these questions that we have built up.
Yeah, for sure.
You ready? Are you sure we don't want to wait for no
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that?
I think it's okay. I think she's just having a problem with connecting. So yeah, I'll definitely be just watching to see if she's saying anything. But we should primarily be good, I think. They're also saying that my audio might be flipped, so let me double check my audio source as well.
Okay.
Yeah, how weird. Maybe it's there, I don't know. But I think if audio does sound a little bit weird, we might have to go ahead with it.
Okay,
It should
no
be
problem.
okay though, primarily, yeah. Yeah. Alright, cool.
right.
Sorry about that, pencil.
All right, just let me know when you're ready, and we'll get started.
Cool. Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. So, first question that we'd like to ask, obviously, is can you just tell us about yourself? This is like not part of the question series that we've sort of prepared, but I do want to like help everyone just kind of like know who you are and like maybe a little history about yourself.
Alright, so hi, my name is Sly. I like long walks on the beach, you know. I actually really do, because I mean, like I actually was born on an island nation of Philippines, so there, you know, like I wasn't there very long. I was only on the island up until I was like 4 years old, until I moved to another peninsula, which is down here in Florida. So for the most part, I've like all my life I've been, you know, like near the beach or like at the beach, just like really enjoying I guess anything marine related. So yeah, I really enjoyed just going to aquariums and things like that. So anything that has to do with the ocean, the water and everything, that's just sort of my thing. And you know, like it's sort of my mission to also do some sort of thing related to conserving that as well. So I'm really big on like anything that has to do with marine conservation as well. I pretty much grew up also learning how to play like piano from my grandma, and also playing guitar at middle school, and throughout all of my life I've also been really big into music and stuff like that. So I'd say combined with those two, you pretty much get me.
Yeah.
So just the combination of the ocean and also music, those are like some of my biggest passions to date. So yeah.
Okay. So with those combined everything, what sort of how did this all evolve into who you are now and what you do?
I would say so, like in the very beginning when I started off like working on music and things like that, I really enjoyed just kind of listening to different kinds of forms of music. I started off going to the library, like literally like checking out CDs and like burning them to my PC and everything. I'm not in that era of like cassette tapes and like all of the, you know, vinyl stuff back then. But I can definitely say that I started off with CDs being primarily like my outlet of like getting all my music kind of I guess my tastes and everything. And so like doing that, like having all of that music come in, I wanted to learn how to do things myself, learn how to actually play instruments, eventually learn how to DJ, and eventually get really into electronic music and wanting to start up some sort of scene. And then on top of that, you know, my love for ocean life and marine life is sort of infused into the festival now that I have today. So like combining the love for the surreal environments of the ocean and also the surreal amounts of music I've listened to and wanting to develop my own artistry with it has become, I guess, my inspiration for Slyfest and actually creating it. So yeah.
Okay. How did like Slyfest become a thing? Like, was it just like out of pure coincidence, or?
So when Slyfest actually first started, I was sort of like, I guess, like what maybe people might describe as a junior world creator. So like I wasn't a beginner. I definitely was still progressing and honing my skills. I still am today. But there's a lot of people that started to notice my work with worlds that I've created, and so it started off with actually, I think it would really be what is the world called again? I should know my own world names, but I'm blanking out because we're in interview form, right? So
I know how you.
let me check really
Preaching
quick.
to the choir.
Jelly World.
Jelly World. Okay.
Yeah. So Jelly World is like one of my first worlds that really took off, like with like getting noticed in the VRChat space, and it's sort of like this, but a much more kind of stylized, blockier environment. Definitely could like probably pass on Roblox maybe, but
No.
it's like something that it's something that became like one of my favorite creations, where like I was just having fun with world creation and stuff like that. And so like when I made that world, like I got more respect from people within the VRChat scene. I think 2018 or so is when I started to work on worlds, but in 2019, that's when it felt like I was really getting somewhere and having a little bit more notice with the kinds of works that I've created. And so thankfully with that, I think with the help of respected creators and people to sort of help propel it forward, I was also able to push onto the music side of things, where I made this world called Secret Sky Stadium, and from Secret Sky Stadium I actually got notice of some of my biggest I guess inspirations in music, like Porter Robinson. So he actually was able to visit one of my worlds at that time.
Oh wow.
And it was so it was so random at the time because he just joined, and I was also able to meet Slushy, who ended up performing for 2020, but I met him in a random Japan shrine instance, and so it's also connected to Japan. All of this is also connected to Japan somehow. But like being able to go there and see some of my biggest inspirations in music come visit my world was like one of the main like inspirations for like me being like, all right, well, I didn't do so well in the IRL scene because I used to really try to perform for clubs and events in my local city, but it didn't really work out the way I wanted, and I didn't feel like the promoters were really putting me on for those kinds of events. So I was like, well, like why don't I just do it myself, because I have an actual audience and platform here. And so when that actually came up and all of those things were sort of aligning, I was just like, you know what, let me pull the trigger and let me make something happen. And so I got pretty much everyone I knew that I thought would be really great members to like our initial staff to come in. I emailed so many DJs and producers, and like it's kind of crazy because like you don't expect these things to happen, but like if there's just a simple thing that I'd like to say about like like making something happen, first thing and the first step you got to do is just ask and start to just go for it. So doing that was like I was in a really good headspace, and I was able to actually get a lot of really like-minded people together, and a lot, like all of them that I've reached out to mostly have had like positive reaction to me making this thing. So they went ahead, joined, and my first event happened in October of 2020.
Nice. Wow. It's interesting to hear all that build-up happened. You mentioned before that you started world building in 2018. Is that right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Are you like an OG
I'd say
VRChat user?
I wouldn't consider myself OG, but I definitely was here before all of the custom emotes and I guess like the new like nameplates and everything. I was here like during, and shout out Xeon, like I think Gaia Night era, and also Great Pug and the OG and one and only Japan Shrine that I am pretty particular about. And then those were the worlds I used to hang out in, is the Great Pug and Gaia Night, and before all of these new updates and everything. So that's when I joined. I know there's people who played way back then, but like I think the first hub world that I went to was the one where it was like sort of like a gray and green kind of like middle sized world, and there's like a central like cylinder hub that had like portals to like different worlds and stuff like that. And so yeah, it was really cool, and they had like this like big mirror, and like the platform is just like floating in the sky, and that was definitely one of my first memories. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna dive a little deeper into Slyfest and everything, if that's okay. So could you tell me like more about like the inspiration behind Slyfest and how it became like during like the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020?
Yeah, so I mean, when things first got into operation for Slyfest, we basically had this sort of vision of like how we attended real life festivals and everything. So like I used to attend a lot of festivals here in where I'm like pretty much localized without going into specifics and everything, but I used to go to a lot of events and things like that. And so what I really wanted to emulate was sort of that feeling of like going with your friends and everything, and being able to really enjoy the atmosphere of like all of these really cool DJs while also being with your company and everything. And so I noticed that with VRChat, like you're pretty much doing the same thing because you're already with company, and then at the same time a lot of things were developing for VRChat to actually house like DJs and people to actually perform in game. Like pretty much gone are the days where people are like DJing through their microphones right. The Great Pug and like and all these worlds, but now they actually had video players and had better audio, sort of like I guess ways to emit audio and like put it in the world, and all these new tech were developing, including now there's still a lot of new tech that's developing that's like really cool. Yeah, so like once all that stuff was sort of happening, Slyfest was also on the come up with like the things that were making these kinds of I guess like mechanics possible within the realm of VRChat and stuff like that. And so we were able to utilize like my world knowledge plus also other people who were doing the technical things on our team. I can't really remember in 2020 like how we exactly pulled all this stuff off, because we were actually, I don't know if we were using SDK2, but that's the deprecated system back then. But we were definitely not using like Udon, I think, or like any of like the scripting systems. So all of this was just all right, like sort of like almost felt like really jerry-rigged to work and everything. Yeah, but it ended up working out for the development of like the actual festival and like the world mechanics and things like that.
Yeah, awesome. I've personally never tried to create a world in VRChat, but I do know there is a lot of work and effort behind just every single step until completion. I'm sure that takes a lot of time for you just to do one thing.
Yeah, for sure. And with our kind of timeline, it's kind of crazy how much we can achieve sometimes in a short time frame. We get pretty crunchy sometimes, but like in the end, like when we're able to actually like finish and do everything that we were set out to do, it's one of the most amazing feelings. And being able to see like everyone actually witness like what you've worked on after all of that stuff that you've done, like including VCAT teams as well, like, you know, like they do a lot of work, you know, pretty much everywhere, and having worked with so many collaborators. The same thing happens in Slyfest, where we also pretty much are working together in a full set team, and being able to achieve like, you know, things that would not be, you know, be able to be done just by myself solely. Like I'm really thankful for everyone that has helped and is still, you know, helping us out in our staff, and also volunteers as well.
So relating to that and having a team of people make all this possible, so Slyfest aims to provide like an immersive experience similar to real life festivals. How does the virtual realm of VRChat enhance the festival experience for attendees?
I would say like not necessarily a comparison between real life and like VR. I feel like with VRChat specifically, with Slyfest, one of the things that we really want to be able to do is, even though like we're in a surreal environment like underwater, there's some level of grounding that has to take place where you really feel like you're really immersed in that world. So the thing that we really like to do as much as possible is, if we're going for a particular style or like realism or anything like that, what we like to do as much as we can is to make sure that everything that we do and everything that we touch is something that feels very tangible and not disconnected from like that kind of expectation of like what you're seeing and like the environment that you're in. And so I think that's something that we in particular like to really achieve, is that sort of sense of like, wow, we're really in this kind of environment, and at the same time we're having like these really amazing artists come on stage and perform like some of the best music that you'll ever hear, and then on top of that, you know, you're vibing in an environment that you never knew that you could be part of. So like the surreal sort of medium of like having like, you know, like, and the thing is, Unity itself is an actual game engine, so like having a full-on game engine to achieve like, you know, like whatever imagination you set yourself to I guess create and make yourself, is like something that allows us to really do what we do. So while, you know, there's a lot of limitations in the real world, you know, for example, like this would probably cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars maybe,
right,
to create, but like you know, you're pretty much making like any kind of environment you want, you know, for free, like in this kind of medium. And so like there's no limitation really of money, except, you know, having to buy the hardware and like, you know, I guess the software or whatever to create this environment and things like that. But like for the most part, like you're not really limited in that sort of sense to create something that you want. So yeah.
Oh, I just want to add, so you mentioned before, like when you were first experiencing VRChat, there was like other like DJs that you've come across, other creators for worlds and everything.
Yeah.
So this is your creation. What we're in right now is your creation, right?
Yeah. So it's not entirely me. I'd like to give a very big shout out, you know, especially to Rajan. So Rajan actually created these Azurians. They actually, if you go up to them, they'll say hello.
Yeah, they wave and everything.
So they'll actually wave and everything.
I like that. Yeah.
So Rajan actually made these Azurians. Like Slyfest itself, like I've created Swa. So Swa, or Swa Music, created Also the base meshes and everything for this world. That I need to showcase that. So this chest was made by FAM, and they also made the rock assets over there as well. And let's see, Constipations made this join Slyfest thing that basically once you click it, you're able to get a copy and paste of our website. But although we could already do that because Vket has a open web page thing, but yeah,
Yes, sir.
I think the main point that I wanna drive home though is, for the most part, like, you know, like it's definitely not a one-man army. It used to be like that for sure. Even Slyfest 2020, I'll say, wasn't even made by me. I have to give my credit to so many other people that actually worked on that world. Brantix and Mochi, I think, were like one of the first few world creators to actually do stuff with the meshwork and whatnot. And basically I was more of the visionary of like, all right, how are we gonna compose this scene? Like, what needs to happen in order for, you know, this to feel how it should? And so
Right.
I feel like I like to view myself not as the primary or sole creator of any sort of world or anything that we create in Slyfest. I would definitely say that it's the vision of, you know, many put into one singular thing, and I like to do as much as I can to include everyone's kinds of visions and have like sort of like put their own little spice on that pie, I guess.
Right. That kind of actually answers the question I was about to ask you, which was like, how does Slyfest like become unique compared to like other virtual reality events, right? And you kind of said like you just put like your own little spice and everything into it. Do you think you could like elaborate on sort of like maybe like your image output you have when you're making these worlds?
Can you rephrase what you mean by, I guess, image output?
Right. So like your own style, right? Like this is, you love marine life, you love music.
Yeah.
So how do you like implement that into sort of like these worlds?
Okay. So for the most part, what I'd like to do, whenever it comes to team endeavors and actually being able to make the full-on environment that's set out to be like sort of the vision that I want, is that we do like pretty much our own mood boards. There's this really cool program that we use that my partner introduced me to, which is the I'm just gonna shout it out. It's called PureRef. PureRef was like one of those things where we pretty much get all of our references and like things and ideas that we really want to implement into Slyfest. And this can be as broad or as detailed as possible. So when it comes down to like, you know, the color of things, or even like could be the texture of like this material, or like sort of the scene composition of like entire like cities or like pathways or whatever. We pretty much bound all of these resources and ideas together, and then we work in like meetings and are able to like sort of navigate those kinds of challenges and limitations, and then whatever we know that we'll be able to achieve and are able to like get started on, which, you know, we use Plastic as our main version control software. That's how we're able to actually get all of these things done, is through, you know, like having initial meetings, having initial plans, and then eventually getting into the meat of it and actually working on the production side of things.
It sounds like a lot of talking goes on to make this like all become a reality too. Like a lot of meetings, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of back and forth, and a lot of discussion for us and how we're able to do things. But I'd like to say that while there is a lot of discussion, I feel like a lot of the team that I've specifically recruited all also understand sort of like that kind of vision that I go through based off like past years and how I like to do things. So they've kind of got or grown into the style of like the things that I like, and like, you know, understand how I want things to kind of look. So in a way, like, you know, like they're also, it's not so much a troublesome kind of experience for them to basically incorporate their ideas, because they also are in some sort of like, say for example, like, you know, like I'm like describing this really detailed triangle. They still stay within the realm of that shape, but you know, there's still deviations to, like, you know, like their visions and things like that. So it's still like confined in the vision, but at the very same time, there's also freedom to do things when they are like suggesting, like, oh, like let's add a pufferfish like right here. I was like, okay, cool,
Right.
let's do that. Or like, you know, whatever. Like it's very much something that I also want to keep open as well for other creators to be able to make something cool, or like incorporate their own ideas as well. But things, you know, obviously go through a process of approval and whatnot, but for the most part, I do as much as I can to include everyone's ideas and on what they want to see for Sly Fest.
Awesome. Okay, great. Sorry if I'm just like throwing all these questions at you. If you need to take a drink of water. I know we got a lot more questions coming up, so if you need a break, just let me know. I don't want to just keep like beating these into you like this.
So there, but there's water everywhere. Like, why would I? Okay, I'll drink water. Yeah.
Alright, so while you're drinking that water, I'll ask you a question, okay? So Slyfest seems to focus not only on music, but also like on creating immersive stories throughout the minis events. Could you possibly like elaborate on the concept of these minis and what attendees can expect from them?
Yeah. So I guess to start off in the beginning, we actually started Slyfest minis in 2021. In 2020, it was just our main festival, but then from 2021, it was kind of crazy. We hosted six minis, and there were like, you know, several worlds for that and different world states and stuff like that. So like 2021, it was on a cruise ship, and like a whole bunch of different stages in that cruise ship. On top of that, like a sort of a welcoming ceremony to the kickoff of that. And then in 2022, we were on like a fishing trawler boat, and then we were able to kind of travel through the ocean, and then eventually end up in a whirlpool that ended up in Azuria. And this time we're on a pirate ship, and for the most part, this is also related to Azuria as well, to sort of give you guys an idea of like the lore and everything. So I would say that the minis was really created because like I was really inspired by one of my friends who actually owns a real life festival as well, where they actually had a road to, you know, like this event. I'm not really sure what the name was again, but for the most part, it was something that I thought was a really cool idea. It's like, you know, having lead up events to your main event is one, like not only a really good way to market the main event, but two, it's a way for people to get really excited and get in and have enough time to digest sort of like the idea or the lore of like, you know, what things are gonna be like and what to expect. And so while we maintain the main festival as our, you know, the highest priority and like most look through event, and making sure that everything is like, you know, like stellar with like the production and everything, we also like to keep the minis really high value as well, and like super just like really super immersed and story rich, so that like people can like get into this sort of like the beauty of like lore and storytelling, because that's something that I really enjoyed growing up too. Is like I've been told countless amount of really cool stories about just general things, and like I was inspired by that kind of storytelling as well, and wanting to have that sort of implementation myself into Slyfest and everything. So yeah, this minis is gonna be, there's one more this year, and that's gonna be next Friday. So on the 28th, we're gonna host our last mini. Yeah, we actually hosted one on the 21st, and that one was kind of crazy. We had like a whole Kraken sequence, and we had like sirens on the sides, and we had like the Kraken, you know, like smash like the middle part of the ship down and everything.
Oh, that's
and
sick.
Then eventually we went to the island of Whale Temple Island, and so this is the next part of the sequence before our main event is the Whale Temple. So without giving away too much, the Whale Temple is sort of going to be this place that sort of explains how we're going to get to the next bit of our main event. And so, yeah, I think that's what I can say about this upcoming minis.
These minis that you have and everything, where can we find out more about this, just so that everyone watching can like follow you like on whatever social media that you would like to give a shout out to?
So on YouTube, on Slyfest, I think it's Slyfest Official on YouTube, but you could just always search up Slyfest. We actually post lore videos of everything that sort of leads into these events. So we like to play these lore videos right when the door opens to our actual minis. The same thing will pretty much happen for our main event as well, is that we'll be playing like some sort of like video before like everything and all of the festivities begin and everything like that. So there's definitely going to be more videos, not only like lore based videos, but also videos on you know, information and like how to join, things like that as well. So like that's gonna be something that's really cool. And I guess I also forgot to mention that with our next minis, we're actually partnering up with Rift VR Club, run by Aztec Angelo. And so like with Rift, they're pretty much also having sort of like their implementation into our story, where like they're also some part of the lore, which would be like kind of like a funny, cool way of also being able to include them as our partnered community, because yeah, they do some really cool stuff. I'd say without Aztec, we wouldn't have been able to host any of these minis. So shout out to Aztec Angelo as well.
Awesome. And of course, we'll put all the URLs and everything at the bottom of this broadcast as well. So don't worry, if you're watching this as a VOD or whatever, we'll be sure to have all URLs below so people can find you immediately.
Also, before we continue, I think there's one question from chat asking if there was any cool events within the main event itself. Without giving anything away, I'll say yes. So definitely try to stay for at least, you know, like the beginning, middle, and end of Slyfest, because definitely in the beginning and definitely at the end we'll have something special prepared for you guys. And we also have other kinds of things planned and in store for the event. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we still have time, right? We still got time for questions. I got lots of questions.
No.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay, good. All right. So, next question. Is that okay if we go into the next one?
Yep.
All right. So, so the event benefits the whale and dolphin conversation. Was it WDC? Correct.
Conservation. Yeah.
Conservation. I'm so bad at English.
You need to improve your conservation. I mean, conversation. Yeah. So WDC is a charity organization that primarily focuses on whale and dolphin conservations. So specifically cetaceans. Cetaceans will include whales, dolphins, and sort of like I don't actually know like where like all of that includes which like marine lives they actually completely support, but for the most part like with whale conservation it also relates to pretty much not only the whales and the dolphins, but it includes all of marine life included in that effort that they're doing. And so what they're really trying to do is they also are the main primary organization responsible for like looking at these whales, and I believe they also tag them and being able to track like their sorts of behaviors and things like that. I think one of the biggest things that they do is really inform people on how they actually are able to help cetaceans themselves, and they're a really great group. We spoke to one of their leads. I forgot from where, but they were really nice. They were able to inform us about like pretty much like why it's so important to keep track of whales and like how their health is doing, because they're like a keystone species for the entire environments of the oceans and all of marine life. And so like if something is going wrong with whales or even sharks or dolphins, that's like a pretty big indicator of whether or not our oceans are healthy. And so they do as much as they can to really raise awareness and also raise funds for the conservation of these amazing animals. Like we're really thankful for them. We were able to raise I think above $2,000 last year.
Awesome.
With our last fundraiser. We're definitely going to try to go for more as well this year again. So we'll keep including them in our on our websites as well as like our actual stream and everything. So we're definitely wanting to continue to have some form of impact on our oceans, because like I said, like I'm a big marine like freak myself. Like I love the ocean. I really want to see it continue to foster all of this life and everything. And I'm really stoked to be able to work officially with them, with WDC, and hopefully even more possible organizations or charities in the future.
Absolutely. So, talking about next year and everything, as Slyfest grows, what challenges and opportunities do you encounter when bringing together like a large team of talented individuals to organize such an event in the virtual environment?
So with sort of the growth of Slyfest and like how we're constantly trying to evolve it and like make it better and like also work with the team, I would say the main thing is that every single year that we've had, there's some form of growth where we're able to implement new and really exciting things. I mean, like from Slyfest 2020, all we had was one main event. And now we have, like the minis and also like big like Kraken events inside of the events themselves, and like different like really kinds of fun and exciting things. Like one of the things that we did, like starting like I believe not really, we started in 2021 with World States, where we're able to make like fireworks go off and things like that. But like then the following year we got into World States that changed like the time of day and like all these other things. And so like that's just an example of like how we're able to also grow, is that there's also new tech and there's new things that we're able to do with the complications and like the sorts of complex things that we do with not only world building but within our own team. There's definitely a lot of new challenges that we have to face, that we're gonna have to like sort of meet together with the team and check in to see like like how can we achieve this, how can we make this better. there's always some form of improvement that we try to make. And also another big thing too would be making sure that we're on top of all of our tasks and our timelines and things like that. We're always trying to find some way to optimize the flow of our our workload, and at the same time make it really enjoyable and make it really fun and very inviting for like newer members too. So as much as possible, what I want to do is be able to still have the main vision for what we do at Slyfest, but also include these new visions and do our best to try to overcome whatever challenges that come in. And so yeah, we have a big team this year. We have production, we have our live performance, we have promo, we have our moderation. All of these different teams are all like constantly working really hard to just be able to like get our basic things down, and as well as like on top of that even more, and going above and beyond to make sure that everyone that comes into our festival has a really good experience. And we really want that across the whole board, not just with the production and the world stuff, but like for everyone that's actually coming in. It's really important that they understand that this is a kind of community that they can enjoy and meet really cool people in. So yeah.
Awesome. That actually answered one of the questions I had to follow up with that. So it's really interesting to hear sort of like how you continue to like evolve and improve the festival experience for everyone. So I'd like to move on to the next question, if that's okay, which is, you had an involvement of over like 60 plus DJs, and the large number of attendees highlights the festival's popularity. So how do you maintain a sense of like community and connection among participants during the event?
Well, one of those biggest things that actually ties in everybody into the event is number one, it would be the DJs. And so there's a lot of DJs that actually like they come in. Before it was 60. This year it's not going to be 60, but it's still a very high amount of DJs that are performing. And I would say like the biggest reason why people come is primarily, in fact, the music. Like the music is really one of the most important parts of this whole festival. Without any of the DJs to perform, no one would be really here to come, because at that point it wouldn't even be a music festival. Right. But the thing is, like, all of these DJs are really talented. They're all from different backgrounds, and they play like the most diverse amount of kinds of music that you'll be able to hear in VRChat. I don't just book people that are part of like one genre. I book people from pretty much across the board, wherever I can include and showcase like some really cool music that's not only like one particular set of music and everything. And so while there's a lot of people that are hand-picked, I also at the same time look at the kinds of really cool music that people play, and we're also able to include people from our own communities to come in, send in an application, check out. We were basically able to check out. We had like so many people, come in this year to apply to DJ for Slyfest, and I was really glad to be able to put a lot of them on for the minis and a few for the main event while there were still slots and everything. And I think that when we have the amount of DJs that we do, there's definitely a wider, obviously a wider reach, because like, these DJs, who like, for some people that's their favorite DJ, like you have people come in that are able to perform, and like they already bring people in because like, they're like the favorite DJ of so many people in VRChat. Right. And so like having a mix of that, and even upcoming DJs that people should pay attention to, and also DJs from the outside you know, like I guess our outside sphere who attract people from outside of VRChat, we're able to bring in communities from pretty much everywhere. Like there's so many different communities that are coming in, and that's like one of the main draws of like having, you know, our audience and being able to show that, hey, like we're a festival that like we're really committed to like putting on a really good show for you guys, and for all of you DJs. And what we really want to do is make sure that that audience is reached and that they're able to like really understand the kind of message you're trying to purvey through your art, through your music. Like it's one of those core integral things about like VRChat music scene itself that a lot of people will agree with, is that, you know, like we always will strive to have some form of audience as performers. We always want that, and like whenever we're able to have people's time of day for them to actually listen to us, and like, you know, as a DJ myself and as a musician, whenever people come to see me perform and actually like showcase their like enjoyment of the event and like, you know, enjoying my set and everything like that, that's like one of those most fulfilling things that I've ever felt. And so being able to do that for other people, I feel a lot of fulfillment for too. It's like, you know, whatever we can do to help facilitate that translation from sounds into your favorite song or your favorite DJ, like that's what we want to help facilitate and like grow and like foster within our own community.
That sounds like a lot of work. I mean, like you're doing all this world creation, you're doing all this like attendance and working with like organizations like WDC. It sounds like you don't have really any time for yourself, but I mean, is that true? Like, do you feel like you're kind of like just always working?
There's a lot of people who say I work too much and things like that. I always feel like there's a good balance with every day that I strive to take, so that like, you know, my work and my personal life and also, you know, like my Slyfest life is like all like, you know, well balanced, and we're able to like provide something that is sustainable. So like with the amount of work that's being done, I feel like even though like sometimes we take as much and as long as we do for certain things to get done, and when like things get really hectic and like really crunchy with our time, you know, like we end up pulling it off, and then like afterwards when we're actually able to host the event and everything like that, it's one of the most rewarding things, and that's what really drives us to do even more events and do even more, you know, every following year. But I'll say that, like, you know, it is really important to take care of your health.
Yes.
So if you are a world creator yourself and you also make things and like enjoy like creating, you know, at the same time, definitely don't, you know, like put yourself under too much stress to the point where you can't even do things anymore. For that specific reason, next year we're going to be doing something a little bit different for Slyfest. It's not necessarily going to be something in the festival scale of things, but it's definitely still related altogether. But so that's what I wanted to say, is that I do think that it's pretty important that we're able to all, you know, like have a proper times to ourselves and being able to enjoy touching grass, you know, as the VRChat community says.
Right.
It's or touch kelp.
Touch kelp,
or sea kelp.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get my own water break real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I as well. Water break.
Yeah, to all the viewers out there, make sure you drink water.
Chad, that was
hydrate.
That was a bad joke.
Oh, this is so interesting. I like this. This is so cool. get the opportunity to do something like this. Let me fix myself real quick.
You're good. Yeah, as well. I really enjoy the chat so far, and also obviously thank you guys on the VCat stream for tuning in as well. We're streaming out of Twitch, but it's also nice to see you guys on the YouTube side of things.
Absolutely. Let me just make sure that everyone's happy on my side before we continue. We have a couple comments I'd like to share. One mentioned that Slyfest 2020 was my first real exposure to this entire scene. They also have a couple comments about like how the whole nameplates like back in the day were in Bank Gothic mode and legacy avatars that everyone used to use. A lot of comments about the old days. So we got some OGs in chat.
I know. Yeah, I definitely shout out to those peeps because they've seen what VRChat's like all its updates and like how far it's come, and you know, I definitely miss all of the old days of like VRChat and everything, and like people crashing you with their like screen space avatars. But I do enjoy a lot of like the new features too now. But I feel like as long as like your core integral friends and like your core like group of people like are on here, and you know, like pretty much like I feel really happy to continue to play VRChat, not only just as what a lot of people would probably describe as a game, but just a hub for all of your friends to really just come in and mess around and like have fun.
You know, it's true.
Like
I joined 2020, so I had no idea like any of this existed. You know, I didn't know anything about like communities. I didn't know anything about like VKet. I didn't know about like DJs and raves that happened. Like I had no idea. And through time, it was like slowly like drip fed to me. You know what I mean? By just running into the right people that talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Get this set up. All right, looking good. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next question. We're moving on. So we talked about the DJs. We talked about the world creation, and of course your busy schedule that you have. So we're gonna talk about something about Slyfest's website, where it mentions wild and surreal elements that are only possible within VR. So could you share like some of the memorable and unique experiences attendees have had during previous events? You mentioned the Kraken, obviously, like breaking the area and everything like that. Do you have anything else that you think is kind of like really cool?
So I think apart from like our own world events that occur, I think I'd like to really shout out the community at this point, because like they also make their own crazy Slyfest lore happen. Some of them a bit more unfortunate than others, if you know what I mean. But one of the things that I notice every single year is that like, you know, like a lot of people really enjoy bringing like their custom avatars to events, and like there's definitely one of the most fun things that I remembered was like people stacking the rainbow bird on top of each other, like the dancing bird meme or whatever, and they're all like dancing around. There's also like they also had like a whole bunch of like VKet the VKet model,
the VketChan,
you know, doing the VketChan, just like doing like the roundabout kind of dance and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like a whole bunch of them. And there's also like a bunch of like I think last year there's like a bunch of like, and this is the plural form, just to remind everyone, octopi that were like, you know, stacked on top of each other and like sort of T-posing and like spinning around. It was really funny. And what else? And then also like, you know, recently what I saw that was really cool is like there's someone with like this fish sort of avatar. They're like in like a, you know, like a standard like anime-looking avatar, but like they were wearing a fish suit, and you could actually close and open like the mouth. It's like
that's cool.
semi-cursed, but like it was cool. I was like, what? But like the thing is like, also pool gang. Obviously, there's a lot of people. You know, even last time at the last mini, you know, obviously pool gang always shows up. They have a pool avatar. They actually have I think it's Slyfest branded pool or whatever. And then of course the deer. We're not gonna get into the specifics about this deer avatar, but I'll just say it's kind of sad that it became like a yearly tradition to see them on stream, and they're just like laying there, if you get what I mean. Like they're just laying down for a very long time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like people like to bring the most absurd and bizarre avatars to our events, but the thing is, it's a lot of fun whenever they're like it's a lot of fun when they're around, because like they're always just making people laugh and have even more fun, as so long as they're not like inhibiting the stream or like, you know, like causing a whole ruckus and everything. Like the community makes things a lot of fun during the events, because really when they're the audience, you know, like it's a lot of fun for the DJs to see like what kinds of reactions they have and what they do. And whenever they do some really outrageous, silly things like that, it becomes a spectacle itself that becomes like makes Slyfest even more fun and more alive than you know, what the DJs already provide and what the world already provides. The community really is like that output that we try to generate for us to like be like, okay, this is worth it. We need to continue to do this thing to make, you know, like to make it like even more enjoyable and everything like that.
So has like the community ever kind of like done something that kind of like was implemented into like a future Slyfest event by chance, or was it anyone that like kind of like inspired something?
Wait, say the first part again.
So like, has anyone within the community done something at like a Slyfest that like sort of like inspired anything for future events that happened at Slyfest? You know, like, oh, this person was like a certain fish. That's funny.
Yes.
We should like add that. Or
yeah, it was one of my friends. One of my friends did the sleepy deer meme, sleepy deer. But like they kept doing that, and I think people continued to like basically continue to do that. It became like some sort of tradition. Also the pool as well was a yearly tradition. A lot of people come in with like swimwear and like really, you know, fun like summery outfits and stuff with our like old Slyfest patterns and stuff like that, and so that was like a lot of fun as well. I think the pattern is really something that's stuck with a lot of people, and something that I really enjoy whenever like, you know, people attend our events, is that you'll see that kind of pattern everywhere. And it's like this thing that I made. It's not really based on anything in particular, but it's a very sort of windy snake-like dots pattern, and it's inspired by the design of you know what a Napoleon fish is? They're like this really big green fish, but like they have patterns on their like sort of like their underside, like their chin area. And they look really interesting, and it also looks like brain coral as well. And so that's actually where it's inspired from. It's not actually a real not like a pattern made by someone, but it's actually inspired by nature. And I was wanting to sort of do that sort of thing. I know it's probably a style like in real life, like there's probably like an actual name for it, but I'd like to say that it actually is directly inspired from nature when I made that little pattern.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's really awesome. I like that a lot. All right.
Yeah.
So, apart from the music performances, right? What other interactive activities and experiences does Slyfest offer to keep attendees engaged throughout multi-day events?
Well, for the most part, that's what we also had, right? Like the Kraken event and stuff like that. And so the main thing that we tried to focus on, or we tried to focus on last year, was having a full-on world to discover. So while we want the main focus for DJs, for the event to be DJs, there's also like a bunch of like things in the world that you can discover. Like Azuria last year was a huge world. You know, we'll probably go visit it in a little bit as well. But Azuria itself has so many different areas and like sort of vantage points that sort of make it like really fun to discover and like explore. And so for people who aren't necessarily really into the music as much, or like maybe like want to take a break from, you know, dancing and all of that, they're able to explore like a full-on world, and also other worlds too that are, you know, created, you know, through us and our team and everything. So like Azuria last year had 6 different locations to explore, like 3 of them being our stages, and like, you know, the rest of them being like lead up areas to go to that actual stage and everything. So I think that was one of like the really cool things that we did, is that because Azuria was like so large, people were able to walk around and, you know, try to like, you know, explore little different cool things. But what we want to try to actually do is at least this year, is try to downscale our size so that people aren't lost as much, but we'll include more sort of interest areas. So if you're, you know, any bit familiar with like open world games and stuff like that, it's not very fun if you're in the open world and there's like nothing to really see. But it's a lot of fun if like in close proximity you have interest points and things like that. And so that's what we want to try to do a little bit more, is have very specific areas where it still feels very open and explorable, but like things sort of like make a little bit more sense with the pathing, and like a little bit better with like the overall scene composition.
I know this might be like a no duh like answer, but when these events go down, or like music to like listen to or everything, this is live streamed, right? Like people can experience this from their homes, like to watch through your channels and everything. Yeah, so even if you're not in VR, like you can always watch on our actual official Twitch. So like, you know, obviously you guys are on Twitch right now, whoever's watching from our channel. But for people back in, you know, YouTube, obviously, you guys would be able to watch if you're, you know, unable to come on VR, or like, you know, you might have a Mac and you're interested in even just like, I guess, the event itself, to watch it. We're definitely going to be streaming it out to our Twitch channel, and that's going to be Slyfest official on Twitch. So like you'll be able to watch our, you know, watch our event. It's definitely going to be streamed on Twitch, and we do as much as possible to you know, like have all of the information about the DJs and the kinds of performers we have, and like it's really fun to see everyone also comment on Twitch. It's like one of my favorite things to, like, after the event, I just like look at the comments. I'm like, all right, what did people say about the event? Yeah.
You know, like I really love being able to actually read what everyone is saying and what they think about our work.
The event, like, I'm assuming most of the attendees are VR headset users, but you can also attend it desktop mode, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So as long as you're able to download as long as you're able to download Steam and you're able to download VRChat and you can run on desktop, you'll be able to join. We also make Slyfest Quest compatible as well. So our last 3 minis were Quest compatible. Same thing applies for our 3rd mini. So like if you're on Quest, you'll be able to attend. And also join on desktop. So as much as possible, we want to keep that route open for you guys, and also optimize our world as much as possible so that we can have as many people join in at the world capacity, which is 80 people per instance. And whenever we have that many people come in, thankfully we have this amazing world dev team that does all this optimization for it to actually run, relatively okay, even with the amount of people that come in. And on top of that, all of these kind of cool, crazy systems that make, our light shows and also the kind of tech that allows for global illumination, things like that. Those kinds of systems are all things that are constantly being developed and improved on. And while we also make the quality as great as possible, we're also able to provide something that is mostly optimized, because there's definitely some few kinks that we always have to try to adjust for, but as much as we can and are able to do so, we'll do as much as we will to have people be able to attend, even if they're on like a really low end GPU or like computer. So that actually brings up something I've been wondering. So since 2020, right, we've had this like major spike of Quest 2 users who've been using VRChat, and like I think that's like a good half portion of VRChat now are Quest users. Are the events for Slyfest, are those Quest friendly, or is it like kind of PC only? Yep, all of our like continuing Slyfest events are going to be Quest compatible. And like there's a lot of flack for a lot of Quest users for various different reasons, but like even if there's so many like young people on Quest, or like people that are necessarily like what people would deem as like the best kinds of experiences that you'll have talking to those users, there's still people like, and they're like really like they're really inspired to see these kinds of things, and hopefully like be able to do really cool things themselves, and eventually they might migrate over to PC and things like that. But like Quest users and people using like different VR headsets, we do as much as we can so that they're able to come in, even if there's so much sort of like like I'm saying, like that flack of like having people who are normally like children and everything like that. But like for it, our events are mostly like kid friendly. Like we can't really stop everyone from like potential like creepy weirdos, but like we do as much as we can also to prevent any of those kinds of interactions with our moderation team too. So our mod team is always looking out to make sure our events are also a safe environment for those Quest users or people who are impressionable. So like I think like that's what like we want to do, is also like make sure that it's not only like fun, but it's also very safe, and it's going to be a good environment for them to enjoy like a music event, even though normally a lot of them aren't able to go until like they're older or whatever. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, I think that actually wraps up the questions from my side. Is there anyone on your side that like had questions that we should answer as well? I do believe that like what I wanted to show you is probably a little bit of the Zoria world, just so that people who don't actually know what it is are able to like maybe see a glimpse of it for the first time. So I'll be able to drop a portal if you're ready. Yeah, let's do it. That sounds awesome. All right, let's do it. So I'm gonna change my camera now. I don't want it to look at me. So yeah, this is the rest of our booth here. Like that. So if you join, you're able to open up our webpage and everything. Yeah, it's really cool. So let me drop the portal now. And this will pretty much be our final wrap up for this stream. So we'll go to it. Even though there's a lot of you that are familiar with it, the Relive actually came out very recently. So if you haven't checked it out, that's what I would recommend checking out. So yeah.
Ooh,
All right,
here we
ready
go.
when you want.
All right. Ooh, this is a beefy one. 344 megabytes. It's going to take us a little second here. So while we wait, let's go ahead and go to the waiting scene, and we'll be right back.
All right, welcome to Azuria.
All right.
Yeah, we
We
crashed.
made it. Oh, wait.
We were
Oh my gosh. I,
using
I just realized there's a fire
we were
behind
using
me.
a different controller than what we were supposed to.
Oh my gosh.
You look so angry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be happy. There we go. When I grab things, I get angry.
Also, I think you're muted. I don't know.
Oh, my bad. There we go. Let's see here. And yeah, we got a fire. Look at that.
Fire. So the download for this world, let me check for you. Relive Azuria. The download is 344 megs. So it is a little bit chunky, but let me tell you that in previous years our world size was like, I think like 600 megs, just due to the like big itself. So it's kind of crazy, but we do a lot more optimization now too, to make sure that we're using as little VRAM as possible. But yeah, welcome to Azuria. Have you been able to check this out yet?
So wait, was this from last year?
Yeah, this is from last year. Yep.
Oh, I think I did see this.
You have seen this.
This is cool. This big jungle.
Yeah. So it's huge, right?
Yeah, it's massive, and it's quest friendly too, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's insanely large, but you know, like we actually did more optimizations for Quest for just this Relive world. It was definitely an endeavor for sure. But we were able to do a lot of more optimizations for the Relive version of this world. Do we have more Azurians? Hello. And then
Oh, that's cute.
This
He
little
waves.
area is like honestly my personal favorite area.
Oh yeah, gotta have the secret behind the waterfall.
Yes. Wow, passing through that made me feel like I was actually going through something.
There's a little
pufferfish.
little pufferfish.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah, just like this little area is definitely my favorite. Like I love the greens.
I like the crystals.
Like right
it reminds me
behind
of Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah. The crystals are sick. Actually, one of our main world captain this year, his whole thing is purple crystals. So that's a little thing I put in this cave. Alright, so
Ooh.
here's an example of the cave. So like pretty much like what Relive Slyfest has is, like all of our DJs that performed this year or last year rather, day 1 through day 3, and then you could just select one. So in
Wow,
this
it's Hyper
case, I'll
Potions.
probably
I
choose.
reckon there's a lot of these people.
Yeah, there's definitely so many. I'm gonna play. What's a stage that was here? I think I'll play Omneb maybe. See if I can find that. Actually, Chris is someone who played here. So there they are. So one of the things that's really cool is that pretty much we're able to also provide like an experience for people who missed sets or maybe missed the festival itself. And we also recorded their motion data as well whenever they were on stage.
So you just like relive the experience and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, so like it's basically the same sort of movement they had, although yeah, it might be a little bit janky. For the most part, these are the actual same movements they've made encoded in video form. And that's like a little bit of the magic of like Slyfest, is that we're able to implement these kinds of really cool systems as well.
That's cool.
Yeah. This little thing where you see like all the lights and stuff like that, that's called Area Lit, and that's a system developed by Blocks9973, I think that's his name. But it puts in light that like is pretty much like really realistic to like the position of like what it would be like. And then we're using like Mochi's shaders for like all of our world stuff that also supports Area Lit itself, using like really like somewhat complex math in order to project the light into these meshes and stuff. So that's a little bit of the technical side of like how this stuff is like possible.
It sounds super intricate.
Yeah, pretty much is. We'll go to one more area.
Okay.
So a way that we can teleport is by double pressing B.
B.
You have an index.
Oh, there we go.
All right, and then click on fast travel.
Fast travel.
I'm zoomed in. And then let's go to the. We'll go to the palace. Go to the palace.
Okay.
All right.
And just like that.
So, yep. So yeah, this is the palace stage. This actually worked for this stage as well, but we'll take another one. We'll actually do our friend Bill. So here's another really cool one. Might take a little bit longer, but basically this whole stage is underwater, and if you didn't notice, which I can fly up for our viewers, is that this whole stage is actually a whale tail. So I'm gonna try to go up and try to see it. It's really hard, but yeah, this whole thing is a cool whale tail. You can see the design.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Alright, back. But yeah, like this was our main stage. I closed off the set here with my Azurian garb and outfit and everything. So like it was a lot of fun. Like I really enjoyed performing for my own event, and being able to see like everyone come in and shower you in like a whole bunch of like emojis and stuff. I can't wait to see what kind of custom emojis people are gonna send, but like getting all of these snowflakes and hearts, like it's always so nice to get that I guess that sort of satisfaction of, you know, like you knowing that you did well and good enough for like, you know, the audience and like pretty much all of your, you know, supporters to really like acknowledge the kind of things that you've done. So
Right.
so yeah, I think that's very much everything I wanted to show. And let me see if we can set up the last sort of angle here. Like maybe right here would be good.
Okay.
Yeah, I could stand over here. Like stand here. Or like right there. So I could see you on the camera too, because I can't see you at all.
There we go.
All right.
I like the lighting.
But
Oh, this
yeah,
lighting's cool. Even got like, I don't know how you call it, but
Yeah,
just
I
like
know.
particle lights coming down and like beams of like this design on the ground and everything.
Yeah, the rays. Yeah,
That's cool.
Shout out to AC Chosen. They made the VRCell lights, and the programming was probably done through either Eric, Velocity, or like one of our LDs. That's what they call him. But yeah, if there's anything else that you wanted to ask or you know, like conclude with, I think we can go ahead with that and, you know, let people eat their dinner probably.
right. I think the best way to end this is to ask,
That's me.
What social medias and websites can we follow you on, or how can we know more about you?
Well, apart from all of the crazy lights that are going on, yeah, you guys can follow us all on Twitter. Twitter's our primary outlet of like news and things like that. Discord as well. And on top of that, our website. So all three of those are probably the best and most excellent forms of like communications that we like to sort of keep with you guys. So our website is slyfest.com. It will also include links to our Discord, to our Twitter, through our Twitch. It pretty much has everything, and also extra information, our web gallery, our blog post. We recently had one made by Shy that wrote our latest blog, so check that out. And then also for our Twitter page, that's going to be, I believe it's Fest Sly, because someone claimed Sly Fest on Twitter. But it's Fest Sly. And then also on our Twitch, it's Slyfest Official. So, you know, wherever you guys want to catch us, you know, like obviously we're really happy to see you guys check out our event. We really would love to grow and expand also on, you know, like the JP side of things. We really like are also booking more overseas DJs and people in the JP side of things, and we'd love for you guys to, you know, check it out and be a part of like Slyfest and like understand that, like, you know, like it's really great when we're able to like cross communities, and like there's already so many really great people doing that within our scene apart from myself that are crossing the JP community with the NA and, you know, EU. And just Asia in general, not just Japan. But like whenever we're able to all support each other through all of these different kinds of events and everything, that's what I'd like to highlight, is that, you know, it's not a one-man effort. It's not even a Slyfest effort. It's like a effort like beyond,
Right.
you know, like what one group or one person can do. Like whenever we have all of these events happening, I'd like to really acknowledge that, like, you know, like these are the people that are really like making VRChat a better place, because like we're able to like, you know, showcase the best of the best, and like new talent and new artistry. Like that's one of the coolest things about VRChat itself, is that we're able to intermingle as we do and be part of things that we normally wouldn't imagine, like being to even potentially even play in a foreign country or like a foreign, like, you know, place in general. There's so many people that have been able to get real life gigs in other countries and you know, spread their own artistry there too. So yeah, big shout out to all of the communities that, you know, like, you know who you are. You obviously know that you know, like you're doing really good work for, you know, not only just VRChat, but like even just the spread of music itself too. Like it's really, really awesome.
Awesome. By the way, this is like the most intense like shout out session I've ever had in my entire life, where it's just insane music and like lights going on while you're talking about this. I love it. This
Yeah,
is
I
unforgettable.
know.
People are just like going like this, like, yeah, I gotta follow social media, but I'm also kind of like freaking out at the same time.
I'm so acclimated to it, so I like have no reaction. I'm just like, yeah, it's just happening in my eyes. It's just like I accept it for what it is.
Yeah. You're just you're attuned to it.
Yep, for sure.
Awesome. Well, if I could just share something from my side as well, is that VKet is still going on today. It's been going on since the 15th of this month.
Yes.
Ends on the 30th, so people have time still to check out your booth location. They have a chance to check out everyone's booths and everything. There's plenty of time.
Yeah.
So I just highly recommend that everyone out there just take a minute or an hour of their day just to check out some worlds. We all worked really hard on them, and the community is what helps make all this a reality.
For sure. And once again, I'd also like to shout out the VKet team. You know, they do really work super hard. Not only just the JP side, but also global team. You know, you guys do work hard, and I acknowledge that. Thank you again for the opportunity. You know, Chiado, for interviewing me. It was a lot of fun. Very big pleasure. And yeah, lastly, yeah, make sure to check out our booth in the Cocoon Art Museum world. And all of the other really cool booths out there in VKet. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Bye, guys. All right.